Well, it's hard to believe that it's fall already. Leaves are beginning to turn here in northern Arkansas, and I'm going to have to start raking leaves very soon. Hope you were able to study Matthew chapter 5, 6, and 7 last week. There is still time to do last week's quiz, by the way, until midnight tonight, and then it shuts down. This week we will study Psalm 119. Before you get too excited that we are only focusing on one psalm, you might remember that this psalm has 176 verses. Let's plan to read it every day this week. The psalm is a song of praising God's Word. Since Christian eLearn is all about getting back to the Bible, it is fitting that we choose Psalm 119. How important is God's Word to us? Well, King David, the author, is said to be a man after God's own heart. And by reading this psalm, it tells us how we should view God's Word and how important it is in our everyday life. God's Word is described many different ways in these 176 verses. His law, decrees, light, commands, principles, rules, ways, His statutes, judgments. And as we read the psalm, we notice that God's Word does so many things. No wonder it is so important in our lives. It brings happiness and blessings. It keeps us pure. It keeps us from sin. It gives us wise advice. It encourages the grieving. It brings us back to God. It provides answers to life's questions. It gives freedom, hope. It comforts, revives, and provides a thankful heart. And that's not all. It instructs, gives wisdom, nourishes, enlightens, protects, brings delight and peace, love, salvation. It is important to remember, and it shows mercy. It deserves respect. This week, our goal is to learn the importance of God's Word in our life. Think about it over and over, how important God's Word is to me. We must constantly feed upon God's Word to live spiritually. If we understand how powerful God's Word is, we will appreciate and study it more and more. Christian eLearn is a tool to not only help ourselves, but others. Our culture is suffering because it has forgotten God and His Word. Here are some ways we can use Christian eLearn to get others back to the Bible. Number one, email your friends and challenge them to take the Christian eLearn Bible quiz to see how well they can do. Put a free classified ad in the newspaper with this same challenge. Tell Bible school teachers to use Christian eLearn as a class assignment for all their students. Tell a church leader about Christian eLearn and encourage them to use it for everyone to cover the Bible in just 2 years. Post and challenge others on social media to try Christian eLearn Bible Quiz. Notice, if you will, at the top of the page, there is the link to this general Bible quiz, and you can copy that and paste it wherever you can. I would love to hear from you, your ideas, your success stories, whatever would be helpful in getting us all back to the Bible. Have a great week.